Joining me now to discuss, Laura Martin, senior analyst at Needham and Company. Welcome to Closing Bell. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Nice looking chart, obviously. Is it justified?
Nope. Still too early to tell. It's up today a lot because he said, Iger said they were going to do $8 billion in cash flow next year after cutting content costs another $2 billion. They already saved $3 billion this year because there were strikes most of the year. I don't know how you cut another $2 billion, and the NBA rights are coming up, and we're hearing the NBA might get $4 billion more, which would make him fall short of the free cash flow promises. So, nope, still too early, I think.
What's the moment, though, where you say, okay, I can get on board with this?
You know what? I got to tell you, if Nelson Peltz gets some board seats, I'm really much more positive because it brings a shorter term focus to these assets. I think what's unclear to, Wall Street is whether the content piece of the business, the core business, can actually grow. Because if it can't grow, there's no dividend here still, right? Remember they cut the dividend? They never reinstated it. So they need to either grow the top line in content or they need to shrink costs and they need to bring back the dividend at Disney.
So you've suggested in the past, and it was during the summer, I believe, when you said that Apple needs to buy Disney. Dan Ives, the analyst at Wedbush, was suggesting that Apple should buy ESPN. How do you view both of those scenarios playing out, if at all, but either your scenario or his?
Right. So the issue with sports is those rights degrade over time. So the NFL rights that ESPN have, and ABC has a lot of those rights too, which is also owned by Disney, degrade over 10 years. Then you have to renew them. So you sort of only benefit from the cash flow stream you get real time. What's more important, I think, is the content business, which is the IP and perpetuity of the entire Marvel universe, the entire Star Wars universe, the entire Pixar universe, and all those Disney princesses that continue to make a lot of money, and Winnie the Pooh every year. So, I mean, I think those are more of an annuity stream. So if Apple wants to go into the content business, I would say they want the IP, and that's what we've seen from Amazon. Amazon bought MGM, had no sports rights. So far, Apple, the only sports rights it's bought are global, which is the soccer rights. It hasn't shown any inclination to buy these very high quality U.S. only rights. Because remember, Apple has a $2 billion iPhones. Only 200 million of them are in the U.S. So it doesn't really want just U.S. sports rights. To me, it's much more probable that it would buy global rights for this IP that travels so well to 8 billion people around the globe.
So why do you give Paramount the benefit of the doubt? Why do you have a buy on that? That stock's been dreadful. Michael Nathanson's very well respected, said today on this network, quote, wrong place, wrong time with the wrong balance sheet. What do you see differently?
And maybe the wrong managers. You know, I thought for a long time that company was small enough to be purchased. And I really thought that it was too small to act as a standalone streaming competitor. And they really held on and destroyed value much longer than I thought. So I'm perfectly willing to go on the record saying I was wrong about Paramount. And they have much worse strategic position today than even they did 3 years ago. So, my bad. Sorry.
No, I want to get to the bottom of it because, people who have owned the stock are owning it for strategic reasons. They think that the company is going, not everybody, but certainly many, including some who are on our shows, own the stock because of a strategic that they think is going to happen. And there was another suggestion by another analyst the other day or last week that they passed up some good opportunities for strategic deals.
What I would like Disney, going back to Disney, which is the bigger cap here, what I would like them to do is spin off 10% of Parks and make Parks a pure play, because Parks is growing at the speed of light. I've never seen margins this high in Parks. I would like them to spin off Parks so that you could have basically create a pure play content asset and a pure play Parks asset. And when I think about the fact that Bob Iger has brought back the brain trust of Tom Staggs and Kevin, that's the kind of thing I think they would be suggesting to him. So that way you could have two different sets of shareholders in here and they could trade separately, because I think Parks really is a growth asset. And I think it's unclear that content is a growth asset anymore.